Node 564560 connected to node 564562.
Yeah, no, I'm liking the car better than Debbie.
IQ testing. That's me.
Node 3499347 connected to node 5
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the '08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater on Cougar Mountain and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, just Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll find the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on, a little history about our group, and also you'll find a link to YouTube where we stream our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we simulcast our nets on our sister station, WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a tone of 103.5. For now, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact before the net gets fully underway. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, and I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Again, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Signed in by a video link already is Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma. Bob, K9PQ in Oak Harbor. Richard, K7ITX. Jim, N7QO in Covington. And myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is anybody else wishing to check in?
Hey Dave, this is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
WU7N, we have you on the on the lineup. To the net with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Okay, this is KD7QKU. Thank you, Dave. Well, Dave, it looks like maybe you had a beard trim and a haircut. You look like freshly sheared. I went over and got a haircut, I guess, Tuesday. I needed one. Well, let's see. Not much going on over here. I went for a walk around the block. It was cold. The wind, there was a little breeze blowing. I did have a coat on that was kind of a windbreaker, and a hat and gloves. I was glad I had it all. Coat wasn't much of an insulation. The shirt I have on is a really thick flannel shirt, but I was warm enough. Joanne went to the store about 4:30 or something. She was after birthday cards or went to mail or something. I don't know what it was. Anyway, she came back and said that it was kind of like frozen sleet hitting her windshield. And then I went and looked, and I didn't see any then, so must have just been a little cloud that caused it. So it was, it was cold here today. I was trying to think of what else I did. I haven't done much. Watched TV. Like I was telling Richard, I saw this E-Mustang, like he has all electric white, and I was watching this. It's called Caffeine and Gasoline. And they go to car shows and stuff, and this guy was cutting donuts with it in a parking lot someplace, smoking the tires and going round circles. So it's definitely got power enough to do that, I can tell you from experience. Richard didn't smoke his tires, but it sure sets you back in the seat. I've been kind of anxious maybe to get the Corvette out and drive it around. I'm getting kind of bored, I guess you'd say. I'm anxious now for spring and warm weather. It's, I've been in the house too much lately. Watched too much TV. I'm not a book reader, so I watch TV instead. All right. Well, back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. Let's go to Bob, K9PQ in Oak Harbor.
I'm just waiting for my picture to come up. Can I get a thumbs up if you hear me okay? No, you're not hearing me. Oh, it's coming out on screen here. So I'm coming through somewhere. There we go. Thanks, Dave. Okay, let's see. So for me, yeah, kind of slow here. I had a bit of an upset stomach the last couple of days, so I've watched a lot of TV myself. Um, but everything's kind of new. Even just today's garbage day, so I was made sure to get that out last night and put the bins back in. They pay for the garbage, but they also have a really small garbage can. So fortunately, I don't tend to produce a lot of garbage at my other place. I would often skip a week or two, and it wouldn't be full. So it should be fine. Maybe while I'm unpacking and tossing stuff, there'll be a little bit extra, but shouldn't be too much. I'll be giving away a lot of stuff. I'll tell you that as I unpack more. Um, yeah, so I mean, I think this is the first time I've got my whole video setup working, and it's still not exactly the way I want. I want to be wearing headphones, but there seems to be no echo, which is good. I think everything is working that way, and I'm just struggling to find out what else to talk about. It's generally a little bit warmer here than inland. It's 40, and it'll be a little cooler in the summer as well. Um, so that's nice, and I'm keeping nice and warm. My mini split, I just have one in my main room, and it's enough to keep this room, which is just off the main room, and the bedroom warm enough. As you can see, I'm just wearing a t-shirt at the moment. I'll put on a heavier shirt a little bit later, but I just got out of the shower. Oh, also did trim my beard. I don't know if you guys remember, but I was looking like Santa. It was really, really big. In fact, I was looking like if Santa let himself go. So I'm happy to have it kind of closer to back to normal. Um, okay, well that's good for starters. I'll send it back. K9PNP.
K9PQ, thanks with that. Let's pick up Richard, K7ITX. What say you, Richard?
Okay. Well, yeah, yeah, Ron. Yeah, for sure. I could burn rubber and do donuts, but I don't know. I like the tires that I have the way they are, and I don't want to screw them up, so to speak. Uh, we run nitrogen instead of compressed air in the tires. That's supposed to help maintain a more steady air pressure or nitrogen pressure, uh, uh, during all seasons. And yeah, I don't see any fluctuation in the tire pressure with you know since I've had it at all. It's just been pretty steady. But yeah, and then as far as know, wink, wink. It's Debbie's car, but she made it clear that it isn't her car, and that she wants me to shop around for a Ford Escape hybrid, which I have known nothing about. I looked at. I told her that the engine in the Ford Escape Hybrid is the same size as our Datsun 510 that we raised, 2.5 liters. Now, I might be kind of interested in it if I found out that they were turbocharged, but I don't think they are. So I don't know. I'm going to call the dealer and ask him if I can have a test drive, just check it out, see if I can at least warm up to it. Yeah, I would call Debbie's situation mileage anxiety, which I would have no problem. I would have no problem, charging on a long trip. It seems like Tesla has stations everywhere you would ever want to go, and I have the ability to use the Tesla to charge my Mustang. So, see, I already am calling it mine instead of hers. So I just go with the flow. She read me the Riot Act. There's just so many things you can do with the car. Right now I'm driving just with one pedal because when you use the accelerator for acceleration and braking both. And the fun part about it is when you're braking, you are recharging the battery. And so a trip that might be just like today, a trip that normally would be about 10 miles, I only use up about 2 miles of the battery. So, but no. You think she would want to try it? That's when I got in trouble. She said, "Quit talking about that." Okay. So anyway, Ron, and Bob, garbage day. That's garbage day at our house today, but I don't have to take it out. There's 3 other people that are interested in doing that, and so I just let them do their thing as far as the participation in the household. Okay, well, and I trim my beard too. K7ITX, back to net control.
Thanks with that. Let's move on down the list. N7QO in Covington.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, it's windy all day here, including now. It's still windy out there. And that makes it feel a whole lot colder than it actually is. Well, a whole lot. A couple degrees here or there can make a big difference, especially if whatever you're wearing is not particularly wind resistant. So I've got 41 degrees here at the house now. But like I said, it is windy. It definitely feels chilly out there. If I were going to be out there more than a couple of minutes, I'd certainly want gloves. Caffeine and gasoline. Wow, that sounds cool, Ron. I'm looking forward to the end of the cold weather and for spring. We've had a lot of rain this past couple of weeks. And it's put a damper on some of what my wife and I have wanted to do, and for that matter, even doing things around the house. I did spend a fair amount of time yesterday. Was that yesterday or the day before? Anyway, someone came and is looking at trees, and he says he's looking at, after the last windstorm that we've got, offering free estimates on what you need done to your trees or shrubs, and how much it's going to cost you. Well, so I spent a good deal of time with this fellow. Whenever it was pouring rain. I was walking around with an umbrella, but he just had a large cowboy hat, so he was well protected, and I think I was probably a little better protected than him. But he has not as yet gotten back with an estimate. I wish I could say I can't wait for him to get back to me, but I know it's going to be a whole lot more money than I want to spend anyway. So we'll see about that. But it's his time. Oh, Bob, giving away stuff. Yeah, I have several friends who moved, and my wife and I have been thinking about downsizing for a while here. But realistically, that's not going to happen soon. But one fellow in particular had all kinds of really good tools, good quality, expensive tools, and he said he has to practically give them away. No one wants them. So, I don't know. I guess that's just the way it works nowadays. But it's nice to know that in advance anyway. Dick, yeah, I have mileage anxiety too. I think I may have bought myself an electric vehicle of some sort several years ago. Except for that, they're telling us when it's hot outside, they're telling us to use air conditioner on like warm temperatures, crank the temperature to a higher degree, even if it's hot outside, and they're telling us to charge our cars only during the night. And then in the winter, they're telling us save energy, keep the house at a cooler temperature than what you really like. So I don't know about these electric vehicles. It just seems to me that they need to fix the electric grid first. And with artificial intelligence wanting a whole lot more energy, I think they need to do some serious work on our electric grid. That's my thought on that. But I'm sure I'll wind up with some sort of electric vehicle in the future. Back to you, Dave, in 7QO.
In 7QO, thanks for that. Let's go to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
Be coming on here in just a moment. All right, I am up. Okay, I don't think I'm going to get too much feedback off that little microphone, but I'll try and get it out of the picture there. Okay, well, let's see. Ron, cold today. Yes, I absolutely agree with you. I found it was very cold here. I went out for a walk. Okay, and it's just a combination of being really damp out. My goodness. It's a combination of being really damp out and just having the cold temperatures, a little bit of wind. It only takes a light breeze, and you're there. So I was forecast for sleet up here, and I'm just a few hundred feet above sea level, but I didn't actually see that. So I guess that's later in the week, maybe. I'm not sure. But Burning tires. I've always thought that was a bit of a waste. You buy perfectly good tires and then turn them into smoke to show off. I guess I just not in the spirit of the thing there. Maybe I'm just cheap. But I've seen that motorcycle guys do that, and I just thought, wow, that seems like an expensive display there. But then I'm a sort of practical guy. I'm driving a car right now that's gone from 35 miles a gallon to about 30 or 31. And interested in everybody's opinion, I'm going to try changing out the engine air filter first. That should be the easiest thing to do. And then proceed to the oxygen sensor and maybe the spark plugs to see why the mileage dropped 5 miles per gallon. Adds up. So if anybody's got any ideas on that. And let's see, Bob. Around here, our size, we use Republic. And the size of the gray bin garbage can is the one that matters. That's the one that sets your bill, your weekly rate, or your monthly, I think they charge every 3 months around here for Republic. So I don't know if you have a different garbage place than Republic, but around here, if you get the smallest size gray bin, you can get any size green bin and any size blue bin you want. And it doesn't change your bill any. So maybe that's the way it is there too. I don't know. Everybody's hair's looking good. You're all inspiring me. I guess I'll have to get mine done here now before it gets all long and shaggy. And Richard, yes, I've known of 2 vehicles that use brakes to charge the vehicle. One was an experimental vehicle, University of Texas years ago. It was sort of like a tricycle. And when you put the brakes on, it was actually some kind of hydraulic setup that was supposed to route hydraulic pressure into a little turbine that would charge the batteries. But they said were having bugs with it, so obviously they've got that down now. The other one, I saw a kid with just zooming down the street on a electric skateboard, and he said when it goes down long hills, it goes into charging mode and it charges the battery. So I thought, wow, that's a perfect vehicle for Bellevue here, because there's no such thing as a flat piece of road, I don't think, outside Westlake Sammamish Parkway. Everything is either going up a hill or going down a hill. So I thought that was pretty cool design. Everyone's audio tonight, Jim comes booming in, everybody else is a little whisper, but I am using, I'll show you here, I'm using a little handheld that I'm feeding into feeding into a little handheld into an antenna. That's because the ICOM over there is out of service for right now. It's on the list of projects here I'll have to take care of, because right now I've got a SWR meter that needs repair, and so once that gets repaired, I'll know for sure what the ICOM is doing, and then decide what the ICOM needs. Major breakthrough, I found a maintenance manual for an ICOM online, downloaded that. My goodness, there's a lot of adjustments on that. So I think the first thing to do is adjust everything before I start replacing parts, but I would imagine there's maybe electrolytic capacitors in there or something that need replacing. Big project. Okay, so that's it from WAU7N in Northeast Bellevue. I'm going to turn it back to our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society.
WU7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Well, for me this morning, I had to get up for a doctor's appointment at 9 o'clock, so it was an early rise for me, who normally sleeps into about 10, so I was a little bit groggy, but I was fine. It's pretty dark out at 7 in the morning to travel, I found out. So that was pretty much what happened there. And then I did get my semi-annual shearing, got that out of the way this week. And then talking about electric cars, it was kind of interesting, a story came up this week. Volkswagen new bus just isn't selling in the U.S. as well as a lot of other electric cars, and it's because of the Trump's reduction of the $7,500 tax deduction on electrical vehicles. It's just caused the electrical industry to kind of go backwards a little bit, and so looks like they're going to be doing more electric and regular gas combination cars in the future for the next, say, 3 years to see what happens. So that's about it. This is what's going on in Lake City. And oh, by the way, I do have 38 degrees and it's cloudy outside. But the good news is there's no snow. So with that, I'm going to move it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, KD7QKU here. Well, good evening again, everyone. I did make a couple of notes, but I didn't make any on Bob, darn it. Jim, I can't say Jim's call sign off the top of my head. Anyway, there was an airplane stolen, apparently out at Crestfield, and then there was another airplane brought back in or something from California. I don't know if you heard about that, but maybe you did. Carlos just joined us. That's good. And you were talking about electric cars. I'll go back to Jim, N7. Let's see. Jiminy Christ, I can't say Jim's call sign. I know Jim's call sign. I've said it 1,000 times. Anyway, shoot. I just drew a blank. I don't know. Whatever. Gas in my... Oh, I was just going to say about his radio. You must run 100 watts, Jim, because everybody else is real low. And when you come in, I have to turn the volume down. You just about break my speaker. So you're the strongest. And always has been. Dave is the weakest, and you're the strongest. So anyway, gas in my neighborhood is $3.65. I'm really surprised it got down that low. I didn't think it could with all the tax on it, but it sure has. You can buy gas any place around this, over here on my side of town, for $3.69 at every service station. But the one that I stop at Safeways, it's $3.65, which is nice. I'm glad to see it down. So I'm going to just turn it back to the net for now and say KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Let's go to Bob, K9PQ again in Oak Harbor.
Volume is good enough. Oops, I need to mute my feedback there. Well, let's see. I just made a few notes. I didn't think of making notes until Jim. So yeah, the downsizing and moving. When I was talking with my agent when I was first looking to sell my condo, months before I wanted to put on the market, I was just talking to her in general terms. I said, "Well, I really want to downsize before I move," and she like went into a panic because she thought I meant I was going to delay the move until I had finished downsizing, which people apparently have told her, and then of course they never move. So I assured her, no, 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 we're moving at this time. I'm going to put on the market at this time, no matter where I am in the downsizing. And unsurprisingly, I had not started downsizing yet. So that's life. As for AI wanting energy, I have the same opinion of that as I do for sports stadiums. And I'm a sports fan, but I think the teams should pay for their own stadiums. And I think the AI providers should pay for their own energy, create their own energy, and not use the energy that everybody else is trying to use. I know some are doing that, but I think they should be required to do that. So that's my 2 cents. It doesn't seem right that other people's energy prices are going up, or they're even having to conserve in some cases because of AI. Yeah, James. Yeah, you've got a lot going on there. I was looking with all your radio equipment. Good luck on getting that SWR meter working again. And the garbage bin size, for me, I don't have a choice because my garbage is included in our condo association fees. So so we get what we get. Um, and like I say, for me, fortunately, that's not a problem. And I imagine this may be a generalization, but I imagine it's a 55 plus community. I would say it's probably more likely that people, around my age probably produce less garbage. Um, yeah, good luck on the radio projects, as I said. What other notes do I have? Dave, yeah, the VW electric bus. Uh, yeah, I heard that that was going to hit a lot of the electric car companies, even Tesla, who has been, of course, strong. I've heard that the removal or reduction of the subsidies is hurting them badly. Um, and it's going to lead to people just not buying electric vehicles. They'll get as James has, they'll get a gas car that gets really good mileage. There are plenty of them out there. It is 40.1 degrees right now and 83% humidity. We tend to, I can't remember if I said this on the air or before, but we tend to stay a little bit warmer here in the winter and a little bit cooler in the summer, which is fine by me. I'm happy on both counts. The lowest I've recorded here yet is 31.7. So I'll take that if that's the lowest it gets this winter. Okay, I'll send.
Let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Well, yeah, I have to downsize out of necessity, particularly if we're going to get another new car, because we're going to want to park that in our garage, which is piled with a lot of useless stuff. And so I've got some trips to the solid waste dump in my future. But anyway, I know I wanted to mention to James that part of this downsizing is I've got a 2-meter radio that my mom used to have. It may even be dual band. I don't know. I know that for sure it was 2-meter, and it comes with I have a power supply that it would come with it. And what else might I want? Oh, and might even come with a mag mount for your car, or a mag mount for your boiling pan or cooking pan. So anyway, James, I got to get rid of it. So I wish it goes to a good person like yourself. So if you want it, please swing by and we'll get you fixed up. So with that, K7ITX, back to net control.
K7ITX, let's go to Jim in Covington, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Yeah, well, these electric cars, I'm not sure, but I think what would suit me best is probably a plug-in hybrid. I think for 90% of what I need, If the battery is going to last about 30 miles or so, that's fine. I'll drive the car around 30 miles, then plug it in at the house overnight, and hopefully it'll be able to charge overnight. And then if I want to drive some distance, I can just go until the battery runs dead and find the nearest gas station and keep doing that along the way. Last time I had to rent a car, they gave me a vehicle that was similar to that, and the battery was completely dead when I got the vehicle, so they were just using it as a normal gasoline-powered vehicle. I sure would have liked to have been able to park it somewhere where I could charge the thing overnight and see, but the hotel where I was didn't have that capability. So I don't know. There are still a lot of places where you can go where, unless you're willing to wait around for a while, you're not going to be able to charge the thing. At least places that I've gone. Let's see. I'm talking about gas. I don't know who was talking about gas, but yesterday I happened to drive past the local Fred Meyer, and their lowest price gas was $3.74.9 per gallon. That's the lowest I've seen in quite some time. I didn't happen to need any, so I didn't get any, but I noticed that was the price they had marked. I drove past the Costco, but they don't post their prices out where you can see them anymore. They used to, but they stopped doing that for some reason. Ron, an aircraft stolen. When did that happen? I did not hear about that. Let me know what you heard. I would appreciate more information about that. I'll have to ask around. And Bob, comment, producing less trash. I can't say how much I used to produce, but I know since retiring, I only need to put the trash can out about every third week, something like that. On rare occasions, every other week, and then also occasionally only once a month. So yeah, I definitely don't generate a whole lot of trash. And if the trash company is charging based on the size of the can, I wonder if they've got a smaller can that maybe they'll rent me a bucket that I can use to put out the trash when I need to on a weekly basis or something. I should investigate that. Thanks for mentioning whoever said that. But back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. Let's go on to James, WU7N.
Come on. Testing. Yep, think I am. Okay. Well, okay, so here is the AI overview. A plane was initially located at Crest Airfield after being stolen from its owner and moved north from King County before being stolen again from the hangar where it was hidden. That's what the AI is telling me. A small Cessna airplane stolen from King County. It was found abandoned at Auburn Municipal Airport in late December 2025. Then authorities recovered the aircraft abandoned at the Auburn Municipal Airport. Well, they're certainly making a tour of every single airport in the country, according to this AI overview. And then it says another airplane was stolen on January 3rd, 2026, and authorities are working to identify if the same thieves are responsible for both incidents. So I guess the one that was stolen in late December 2025 made a tour of airports. It says something about that the people at Crest identified it as something that either didn't belong there or was stolen or some such. So that's the AI perspective on Google. And like I've come fond, I used to say if it was on the internet, it must be true. Now I say, well, if it's on AI, it must be true. No, there is some hallucinating and some getting things wrong. AI is an amazing, really truly amazing. It will change our lives, but it can't reason, and sometimes it gets things mixed up. I notice here there's a 2-minute video. It says King County couple's plane recovered in California, but it's a 2-minute video. So I'd have to send that to Grok to get a summary unless you want to watch the whole 2-minute video. So that's the story on stolen aircraft this week. And just to be clear, I didn't do it. Let's see. Oh yeah, Dave, electric cars. Yeah, I'm always very suspicious of subsidies from the government. I joke with people. I say, do you remember all the subsidies that were heaped upon us to buy computers back in the 1980s? No, you don't, because everybody just knew that was a good idea, and it was an amazing amount of computing power you could do a lot of cool things with. So people just went out and bought them, and they made adjustments appropriately. So I think that sometimes government subsidies are just the ring of death for an idea. It's kind of like how they name bills in the federal Congress. They do exactly the opposite of what they're supposed to do. The Inflation Reduction Act spending bill was one of the largest spending bills in United States history. Not sure why you would name something that's going to cause inflation to get worse the Inflation Reduction Act. Another example of that would be the Social Security Fairness Act, which was the most unfair thing you could possibly imagine. It took people who were in public service somehow, who had never paid a dime into Social Security, and suddenly made them eligible for full Social Security payments, and their spouses who also never paid into Social Security. And that was called the Social Security Fairness Act. I thought that was kind of humorous. Anyway, let's see. What else did I pick up on here? My apologies, Richard, I'll send you an email. You said something and I think it was directed at me, but the volume was so low. I was fumbling around trying to turn the speaker up. The volume was so low on 2 meters, I couldn't hear what you were saying. So I'll send you an email on that, and get clarification. And Bob, I also heard that you get your garbage as part of your homeowners association pillaging, so you don't get a choice of what can size you get. That is a shame, but maybe you're getting a good deal, a break, a group discount break or something for your trash. We don't do that here. Everybody pays their own garbage, so you can pick your own size. I picked the smallest size, but just because by the time I throw everything into the recycle bin or the green compost bin, I don't really have very much trash, and I usually end up taking a small bread bag of garbage just when I go out and dropping it in a trash can, like at Costco or something. But that probably wouldn't work for most people. And of course, sometimes I do put the gray bin out because I have too much trash that week. So even the holiday season here, though, for me didn't generate a lot of trash. Not sure why. Lights are still up. They got to come down. And every year I wonder if my little laser snowflake projector is going to last another year. I think the motor finally died, so it just has nothing but red dots now on the projected on the garage wall, on the garage door. There's nothing else there. So I think the motor finally conked out. So anyway, this is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue. I see we got about 15 minutes left of the net, so let me turn it back to Dave, K9PQ in CC.
And go to Carlos, 87NP. Go what you say, Carlos, and welcome to the net back.
All right, let's see if audio is flowing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and we don't need to have the repeat of the audio. I think this was the plane. We found it on James' backyard. It sounded like it was taken from Auburn Municipal Airport in the early morning hours of January 3rd, and there is the video. So someone took the plane at 4:27 a.m. and turned off the transponder after that, and then it showed up in California. I hope that's a stolen plane. I don't know if there are more stolen planes. I mean, we'll figure it out. It's good to hear everyone. I was sorry I arrived late. I've started listening at 8:09 as I had this little radio on my car, which is like what we use for car-to-car communications, but also as the on GMRS, but also as the kind of this frequency coded in, so I was able to catch on it. And so I was impressed with first with Richard's capabilities of doing 10 miles in 2 miles electric battery. I only get kind of maximum. Sometimes I do get good mileage, but there's always a hill to climb that kind of strikes that. I'm aligned on the gray garbage bin size setting the price, and I'm with you, James. I also, because we do a lot of compost that goes into the green, and usually the one that is always the most loaded is all the Amazon card box that show up, and we're always loading the blue one to the max. I've heard the Jim tree estimates. It's kind of amazing. There's always someone on your neighborhood that while they are in your neighborhood, they want to kind of volunteer to charge their lowest price, but it always ends up quite a high price. Bob, I noticed on your background that you're an Emotiva fan. I'm also a good Emotiva customer. I saw your amplifier there in the back, the BASX. I have 3 amplifiers from them also. That's pretty good. It's a good brand, kind of built in the US, and very good quality. Definitely like. And James also mentioned that Jim's audio, I think it's probably the highest of all the audios that show up. And today Richard is also a little bit on the lower side. I don't know if Richard can see the video or not. Today I had brought something to show Richard, but I will wait until he's there. It's here on the background for folks that are on Discord. This is my new sim racing setup with my wheels and pedal. It's a very nice to kind of race cars on the computer without having to pay for all the crashed effort. I was gonna say that on the plug-in hybrid, if you're looking for a recommendation, Jim, we got the RAV4 for my younger daughter. It's the plug-in hybrid RAV4, and we're quite happy. So it's I think it's 40 miles, and the RAV4 also has some really good mileage. So we've been quite happy with the RAV4 that we got. When did we got that? In August, when I was there it lives in Maryland. That's where my daughter goes to school. So good to see everyone. Sorry that kind of being late. I see that everything seems to be working, and good to see Bob on both channels at the same time. Gosh, that T-Mobile really provides a lot of bandwidth. And now good stability for both Bob and James on their renewed interest. And Ron, I'm going to show you a demo, because one of The things I tried the other day with my racing simulator or this wheel and pedals was driving a Corvette. I wanted to know the Corvette experience, and so there's a good Corvette simulator on the computer. So that's a lot of fun. And everyone coming well into the repeater. So I'm sending back to to Dave Net Control from NP in Clydesdale in 1, 2, and 3.
Thanks for that, Carlos, and get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Oh my, talking about vehicles, getting into hybrids where you have both electricity and gasoline, but I think that problems will be resolved here
pretty soon. We take
when a Venezuelan oil captured at sea with the tankers, and then we get the precious minerals from Greenland to build out our electric cars and take care of that in the infrastructure. So anyway, that could be a solution to the automobile industry. So with that, I'm going to move it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, KD7QKU here. Turn the volume down. Turn the transmitter on. I haven't seen myself yet. Do I have it on? I guess I do. Well, I made a couple of notes here. One, Jim, N7QO. If you're going to have some tree work done, I sure want to make sure the guy was licensed and bonded. Trees are kind of dangerous for yourself, your house, your neighbors, and anything else. We had an awful lot of tree work done here. I bet I spent $10,000 on trees when we moved into this place. But anyway. And Carlos, you were talking about checking out a Corvette. The most exciting thing about my Corvette is cornering, and I don't think you can experience that on a computer. It's so close to the ground, and it's a little wider than normal. And man, I'm telling you, it really corners. And you just don't get a chance to drive it around and experience those things because you can't go very fast. But when we go over to our Joanne's sisters, we could get off Highway 16, and then we go around this corner. And it says, 35. I bet I could go around that corner at 85. I don't know. But I've gone around it about 60, and it's no problem at all. So I don't know. But that's the biggest thrill I get out of it. You're so close to the ground, and center of gravity so low and it doesn't lean or sway. It's just solid. You just go around the corner. It's just amazing. What else was I gonna say? I bought a thing. Maybe you've seen them advertised to clean the inside of a windshield in a car. It's on a little handle. Most of them they show is kind of a triangular shape. Well, I bought one that was a rectangular shape, and the handle adjusts for length out to about 2 feet. And the Corvette, the windshield slopes so far back, and there's not much room. So cleaning the inside of the windshield is real difficult, for me anyway. I'm getting old and stiff, crawling around in there, trying to clean the inside of the windshields. But anyway, I decided $10 I'd buy this thing and try it. Well, it really worked good. I guess for $10 I'd recommend it. So you've probably seen them, and I don't know, what you have. You probably just have a standard car. It wouldn't be much more problem but the Corvette is a real problem. So anyway, I got the inside of the windshield nice and clean on the Corvette, so I like that. So I'm glad I bought it. So I'm going to say 73. I enjoyed the net. And, Jim N7QO, there was a plane stolen, from here and flown to California. It said on the news tonight, and then it sounded like there was one stolen in California, and it maybe was flown into your Crest Field, and then they said they had changed the combination to the gates or something over there. It was a pretty good report on the TV this evening. Anyway, 73 KD7QKU in North Tacoma, I guess I am. Good night, everybody.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. And let's go pick up Bob again in Oak Harbor. K9PQ.
Node 5, 6, 4.
Well, I just saw Wade there. Hello to Wade. Well, I see we don't have a lot of time. I'll just say a couple quick things. Oops, to mute. There we go. So I don't think I've mentioned this on the net before. I can't remember. But there was one really kind of big disappointment. I had an inspector come in and do an inspection on the whole place. And one of the things he checked out was the dishwasher, and it went through and it did its whole cycle. And so he said, yeah, it's fine. It's functional. The first time I tried to do a cycle, the dishes on the top rack didn't even get wet. So, and it's old and has other more minor problems, some missing wheels on the lower rack to get it out. So I'm looking to buy a new dishwasher and really got sticker shock. First of all, like everything here, this is a small place. It's a compact dishwasher with only 18 inches wide versus the normal 24, which is plenty for me. That's all I need. But the budget model of that dishwasher is about 500. Uh-oh, am I missing something? No, I thought maybe you guys didn't hear me. The budget model is 500, um, and I have seen enough bad reviews of that. I think I will go. You pretty much step up into the 8 to 1,000 range as the next level, and you can easily get to over 2,000. It's just crazy what the prices are. The other thing I was going to mention is the RAV4 plug-in hybrid sounds like a great vehicle and would probably be on my list of vehicles to buy, except that I still want to keep my trailer and tow it. So I think after I end up selling my condo, which is the end game with all this whole thing, um, I'll have some money to buy a new car, and I think I'll be looking at another 4Runner. They make a 4Runner hybrid that the hybrid is an electric motor basically in the drivetrain downstream of the engine, so it doesn't help a lot really with the gas mileage, but it adds power when you need it. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, I'll send it back. This is K9PQ.
K9PQ, thanks with that. Let's pick up Richard, K7ITX.
Yes, thank you, Carlos, for sending me a link to the video of the flight simulator that you were talking about. No, not flight simulator, the Corvette simulator. And then James, thank you for the email asking me for more details about the Kenwood 2-meter radio I want to give you with the power supply. So with that, maybe there's a chance to hear from Wade. K7ITX 73.
K7ITX. Well, you mentioned Wade. W7ITL. Are you on the air?
All right. Well, I'll just say, hey, nice to see you guys. I was in another meeting for W7DK. They're having their monthly board meeting. So It went really long, so sorry I couldn't join her a little bit earlier. Other than that, nice to see you guys. I didn't get to hear the net, so I'll have to listen to it later tonight to see how it sounded and what you guys talked about. All right, well, I'll catch you guys later. The net's over now, so I will say 73 W7ITL.
Thanks with that, Wade, and it's time to terminate the net. This has been the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, broadcasting in digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. And we'd like to thank our sister station, 2-meter station, WW7STR 147.08 at a tone of 103.5 to simulcast our audios for our net. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, terminating the net at 9:01. Good evening all.